Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Homecoming, the HBCU podcast, where we talk about awesome stories with HBCUs. We talk about different students, alumni, businesses, sports, bands, everything. People, we love it. And especially we talk about homecomings. And you can catch us on anywhere you can find your podcast at Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio. So what's going on? What is up, Rose?
Man, I'm not still living in the moment of Super Bowl, but it is something that's been on my mind all week. I've been seeing reels post about the Super Bowl just on my feed. It's something not the world, but the US, we're still in, I mean the world a little bit too if they like American football, but like definitely in America we're still like talking about, reflecting on. And then there was that shooting. My mom's like was like, "Hey, did you hear about the shooting?" I said, What are you talking about? Shooting? I didn't know anything about it.
So I'm a big fan of First Thing First because I like the way Nick Wright breaks down. I don't agree with him all the time, but he makes some good points. You know what I'm saying? He makes them he's very factual. He brings a lot of stats.
Yeah.
Then you got Chris Bouchard. He brings a lot of stats. He's like an old school reporter. I've been following him for a minute. His basketball knowledge is crazy.
It's wild.
It's really wild. And then Kevin Wild's on there. So their chemistry is bomb. So they were actually at the parade filming, and then it happened. But I think they were filming when it happened. Which is because Nick Wright's he's a big KC fan.
Okay, so, got you.
At this point, it sucks because it feels normal now, which it didn't when we were growing up.
It's like we're almost getting, in a way, desensitized to it. It's still tragic, right? But it's the thing of like, of course, like typical kind of,
It's like,
and it's again, it's one of those like, what's going on? Like, we just can't have a good time anymore.
Nah, we can't have a good time, which is crazy.
And then it's everywhere. But of all things, though, like it's a celebratory parade. Y'all just won the Super Bowl, so now that's gonna put people in defense mode moving forward. I feel like for other type of national championship celebrations, whatever city, as soon as you bring it home, heads on a swivel. Me personally, I don't like crowds. I barely go to concerts because of that. I hate being around a lot of people. It's just too much energy. And then I'm looking at the footage of people running.
It gets
dude, because you can get trampled. It's a stampede, and we're not talking about Lion King, bro. It's called an actual stampede. And I'm 5'4". I'll get lost in the sauce if I don't get my knee highs.
Yeah, you got it. Because
but it's crazy.
And you know what? The funny thing was, let's bring it back to the Super Bowl, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Faith was like, was the Super Bowl any good? I was like, it was the most watched Super Bowl in history.
Why do you think that is?
Well, number one, I think people love the Chiefs. I don't think it's like the Patriots. Like for some reason, the Patriots were kind of like they're kind of like the Empire. I used to call them the evil Empire.
Yeah,
I used to call Belichick the Emperor and Tom Brady Darth Vader. Like they were just ruling.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? They were just. I mean, that's what their nicknames were.
Yeah, it's a good analogy. I didn't like them. I didn't like them at all.
But the Chiefs are like, you like Kelsey because he has a podcast with his brother. You like Andy Reid. I've never heard of a player come out and say anything bad about Andy Reid. They love
people are liking Travis Kelce less with this whole Taylor Swift debacle. I'm sick of hearing about it. But no, he's cool.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and then you have Patrick Mahomes, who's like
Patrick Mahomes, boy.
He's cool.
He's cool, man.
He's cool and he wins.
Yes,
he's
and
in a lot of commercials. He
gets the job done. Unlike another quarterback that we know, Baker Mayfield, motherfucker,
Oh,
on all those
God.
damn commercials, and
He did.
you're barely throwing over 100 yards a game. Stop making commercials,
Yeah.
reel it in.
Yeah.
You can't say because you didn't have an
Yeah.
offense. That nigga has so many offensive weapons. It's neither
They're
here nor
still
there.
good. They made the playoffs last year. Anyway.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, that's just what it is. Shaq's still in commercials. Like, when
Mm-hmm.
you win, you're in commercials. Troy
Yes.
Polamalu's still in commercials with Patrick Mahomes.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it is what it is. If you win, you're in commercials. Jordan was in Hayes commercials way after he retired.
That is true.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
yeah, but
Kobe was in massive commercials.
to your point though, the Chiefs in this era, it's not like the Patriots. They're a more likable team. You can say, man, I
Mhm.
just want to see a different team. I'm tired of seeing it. But I think he has this aura and this appeal to him. I'm talking about Patrick Mahomes and
Yes. I know who
watching
you're
what
talking
he's
about.
able to do play
Mhm.
after play, game after game. And it's the same thing of like, man, you give this man a ball with a minute left, lead is safe.
He's sick.
And,
He
and I
kept
and I
13
knew
seconds.
and I knew
Yes.
49ers they fucked up because
Yes.
a lot of people are like, man, it was a boring game. I typically don't
What?
expect an
That joint
offensively
was like
high
that.
octane, but I'm saying
Yes.
offensively, it wasn't a
Mm-hmm.
high octane game, right? But we
Mm-hmm.
already know, offensive they win games, but defense wins championships. That is it's a
Mm-hmm.
saying for a reason. So I already knew
Mm-hmm.
the defense was going to keep the game at least a score kind of low, and it was like an ebb and flow back and forth, right? But
Yeah.
I said, man, the 49ers are not capitalizing off of the stagnation of the
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City Chiefs offense. I said, they're
Yeah.
not going to win this game because you can't score.
Yeah.
Look at our AFC championship game. The Texans, what was it, back in 2018 or 2019? When
Yeah.
we were up, and I still
So,
didn't feel comfortable. We were up by
yep.
like three scores, but we were up like over
I
20
remember
points.
that. That's when the
And
legend
that
started.
lead wasn't safe.
That run
And
he did was
bro,
crazy.
that's what I'm saying. And that
It
no
was
lead is
crazy.
safe. So like you couldn't even capitalize off of that. I knew they weren't gonna win the game.
I mean, listen, it's something that I've said on fourth quarter, and I'm gonna say it again. I think I think he's a force multiplier. He's like Kobe,
Mhm.
Mike, LeBron. It's just a lot of people aren't going to win championships when he's in their prime.
Period.
That's just it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so funny, and no hate, no shade, but KG and Paul Pierce are eating off that one chip they got over Kobe.
Yeah.
They eating off that because Kobe
Yeah.
in 10 years he went to 7 NBA finals. Him
Crazy.
and Shaq stopped a lot of people.
A lot
LeBron
of dynasties. Yeah.
stopped a lot, 8 straight times to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
People, it's hard to win a chip.
I'll
And
never
it's
forget what he did to Golden State. I'll never forget. He's forever like stamped in my heart because he stopped that shit. I said these niggas not about to
3-1.
not
They
about
had
to
to get KD. They had to
cheat.
go get KD.
But I'm just saying, but yeah, there's these guys, it's just they have such a dominating presence in their
Mhm.
sport that it just tips the scales and it's gonna make it so hard. You're in the AFC, tough tits.
Good
You know what
luck.
I'm saying? Good fucking
Good
luck.
luck.
Yeah.
He's talking about 3-peat. He got on the podium. He was like, "Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna go party in Vegas with my guys. After that, I'm back to work. I'm trying to
He's
get this 3-peat." He said it right after he won. I was like, "What?
I don't care what anybody
What?"
says.
He's
He's
like, "I'm trying
gonna
to get this
right.
3-peat."
He's gonna surpass Tom Brady because they already put
He
stats
is.
and they put the comparison of
Ooh,
where
you
Tom Brady
see that?
was in his career at this age and with this many games, this many play. Like
Mhm.
it's already it's written. It's already
They
there.
said
Like
Patrick Mahomes' career, the first 7 years of his career is so great they have to compare it to other sports. So the Nick Wright
crazy.
did a scale. It's like Wayne Gretzky, Bill Russell, and somebody else. But he was like, these are the great players. Like, because in Tom Brady's first 7 years, Tom Brady didn't win any MVPs.
Right.
He didn't win any. Patrick Mahomes has won 2 already. And he's won 3 Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
MVPs. And he's talking about he's going to do a three-peat.
He can do it. He can do it. I don't know what's going to happen this
I'm not going to bet
offseason. I don't
against
know.
him. I don't know.
Really insane too, though. It's really,
hard.
it would be insane too. Yeah.
Because dudes
start pissing down their legs in those big moments.
Yeah.
And he's proven time after time, you know, he keeps his composure for the most part, and he's able to, you know, get the job done.
Yeah.
And it's not just him. Obviously, there's other key players, but like quarterback, you know what it is, bro. You got to be able to throw that ball properly. I'm sorry. And have the awareness and know when to take off. And it's just everything that he's able to do. It's insane.
It's crazy. And you know what blows me about, you know, because I'm starting to do the quarterback breakdowns, right? So I love the sports show. I love sports, guys. So
do you?
I'm reading about all the draft prospects at quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I told you when you drafted CJ Stroud, I said, hey, I told you. I was like, hey, that boy is about to be like
yes. It was because of what you said too. I was like, you know what? Let me watch this. I was like, let me watch this season.
Like that. I said he's gonna be like that.
And I watched this season. I'm like, I was so impressed. After the first game, I said, oh.
Yes.
Oh, we have something here. Yeah, we have something here for sure.
Y'all got a good young team, right? So right now, this is the time where people are just throwing stuff out there without doing like proper like work. Like I saw, it's funny, like people forget, right? Because everybody's talking about Caleb Williams. And listen, it's not going to be another Patrick Mahomes. Stop doing that. Stop comparing him.
He's like a one.
To be honest,
bro. Yeah.
To be honest, people are like, "Oh, Jaden Daniels is like Lamar." Stop that. Stop. Lamar is 27. Has won 2 MVPs. Stop. Like you gotta relax here.
Gotta relax. I know that's what you're about to say.
Relax because these two. Man. Lamar Jackson's a Hall of Famer. He's first ballot.
Yeah. Period.
It's 2 MVPs.
That's just where we're at with it, for sure.
That's where it's at. So don't compare. It's just like, yo, just let the young guys. And I'm not saying don't do comparisons. Do comparisons. Just leave those 2 guys out of your comparison.
Because they're the anomalies, bro. Like you got to stop that stuff for real.
Yeah. You got to slow
Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes.
You got to slow up because those, like, if they have an all-decade team, it's probably going to be Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes. At this point in time. So, and I think Lamar might get. I think people don't give him enough credit, but I think he's going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to win the Super Bowl. He going to sneak one right into Patrick Mahomes' era. If they three-peat, I can see the Ravens getting one right there. You know what I'm saying? I just think people sleep on him a lot. They don't give him his respect.
He's going to have to, man, and he's going to have to throw better.
Yeah. He's going to work on it. I trust him, man.
He's going to have to.
I've been following since Louisville. As soon as Ravens drafted him, I told everybody, I was like, he's going to be like that. So, but I've been wrong. Don't
backtrack now. No, just stand on it.
I didn't like Herbert. I didn't think he was going to be good coming out.
Really? You didn't like Herbert? You didn't like my man Justin? Huh, that's interesting.
I like Tua more, but
I get it.
They're almost.
But he was so sensationalized in college. It's like, how can you not like Tua?
Yeah,
but it is what it is.
But speaking about the Super Bowl, it was a great game. How did you like the halftime show?
I loved the halftime show.
I knew you were watching it. Yeah.
Of course, because like honestly, I had my brother. All my brothers actually. They were over at the house. We were all watching it together. My little brother's nodding off, falling asleep, whatever. And then as soon as the halftime show came on, everybody was just like up. Even my mom came out. She was like, "Is that Usher? Oh my god!" She like sat down. She stopped cooking, and it was a wrap. It was a wrap. He had me like hypnotized, and I don't know. It was first of all, it was the most watched Super Bowl halftime show in Super Bowl history.
Yeah.
So we got to start from there. And what it reminded me of, like he's going through hit after hit after. I was like, oh my God, this is literally my high school and college career in song. Like,
Yeah.
like, and I'm just like, oh my God. See, I'm showing my age a little bit, guys, right? I get it. But no, it was so nostalgic. It was amazing to see Usher on that type of stage. And what kind of like put the cherry on top was the performance by Jackson State University's Sonic Boom.
Yes.
That right
Yes.
there, because nobody knew. Obviously, they kept
Yes.
it in the raps. They were very, very strategic about that. But when I saw him, I was just like, this is this is really happening, because there were like whispers and somebody was like, Jackson State to perform, da, 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 da. But when I actually saw him out there, all 300 members, like, it just did something to my soul, just hearing the sound. Like, what? JT.
It was nice. And no hate. Shout out to the
I know you
the Kappas. I seen it.
They were shimmying. So and I had to post in our story. You gotta shout out. I mean, it's all a part of the Divine Nine, right?
Yeah.
Not in no game.
Yeah, respect. I love Kappas.
Yeah.
Like,
you think y'all could have did it better?
You said, huh?
Do you think
What? Of course we would have did it better.
Oh my God. Calm down. Calm down.
Come on. Of course the Keys would have did it better, guys.
But yeah,
Y'all
who knows? Who knows? I will say this though. So the two songs that they got the most like shine or spotlight for was Love in the Club, or this club, sorry, Love in This Club. And when that came on, I mean, my mind went straight to college. When I say when that song would come on in real time, when I was in DC, right? I went to Howard, everybody knows. People were trying to live out that song. They were literally trying to have sex in the club. And I'm looking around like, if I had holy water, I would just be, on everybody. But it was crazy. People would have like ducked off areas. People was fucking in the bathroom. You know how crazy it is. Like,
that's crazy.
People would literally.
Yeah, I can see that.
It was almost like
see that.
the song's telling me to do it, so let me really try to do it.
Yeah.
It was a wild time.
But
2008.
It was
wild time.
2008.
So yeah, so they performed. That. It was a good year for me. That was my junior year. It was a really great time. That's when I kind of came into my essence a little bit. So yeah, they played Love in This Club. They were featured, like you saw them like in their element, and then the song, yeah. So they had oh man, I had to rewatch it. I rewatched it on YouTube. I'm like, man, let me see this performance. Let me run that back. It's like 19 million views on YouTube, but they definitely did that. I don't know if you were able to see any of the interviews that they had of the students that were in the band, like what that meant for them to be able to perform on that stage. Did you see any of that? They were like,
no, I needed to, man.
What was your thoughts on it?
Man, listen. So I always mention the band. Not because I had, I got a nephew that plays in the band at Bowie, but
shout out Earl.
Because always try to shout out family as much as possible. So going to HBCU, the band is just different, right? I saw that post too. Yes, they HBCU, every organization hates it anyway, but the band is like really close because they go through like a strenuous band camp, and then they're always together. They're always like playing. Like I remember like just anticipating it when you're on the yard, the band coming through, like, oh, there goes the band. You know what I'm saying? And you get to watch the band come down the yard, and for them to be on this stage is huge, man. Because I think the HBCU is built of so many components, and it sometimes they don't get enough shine. Like, listen, I love it. Listen, the fraternities sororities get a lot of shine. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But there's the football gets a lot of shine too. But it's like it's women's basketball, it's the band, it's SGA. You know what I'm saying? Like those components, homecoming committees, those components, Mr. and Mrs. Howard or Mr. and Mrs. Bowie, all those components make up like the essence of a HBCU. So it's nice to just able to get to see a band play at the Super Bowl with Usher. So
Right.
that's pretty awesome.
It was. What was your favorite song or your favorite performance?
By the band
No, I'm
or
just saying in
in
general.
general?
In general,
Oh
yeah.
man, the when her came out with the guitar was tough.
That
That
was
was tough. That
amazing. It
was
was
tough.
amazing.
I ain't gonna lie.
She's so
And Alicia
talented.
Keys,
Minus
you know
that
what's a
first
big
note. Minus that first note. Like,
uh,
damn, girl, you wasn't drinking tea in the back. You didn't warm up your
that
vocals. It is
that's
what it
like
is. But that was insane.
that yeah, that's one of Faith's
You gotta be
favorite
professional.
artists. Yeah. You know
Mm-hmm.
she can play ball too.
Well, I know she can't
She
hit
was
that
shoot,
opening note.
but that's and I liked Alicia Keys too. Alicia Keys was good.
I loved her outfit. I will say that. I love
Yeah,
like
and
she's
then
talented. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm just like really just like I'm playing. But no, I'm not playing about the opening note. That was wild. But her outfit looked amazing. Still to this
yeah.
day, the piano. Some of those notes really, she wasn't. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if she's rusty
Yeah,
or what was going on. Because it wasn't even just the opening note. When I rewatched it, I said,
yeah.
huh, she didn't really hit that note like she used to. Yeah,
Well,
go back.
I mean,
We're
she's
not
a
trying to be
beast.
overcritical, but no, she is though.
She's a beast.
But it's the Super Bowl.
I
So.
get it though. I
It's
mean,
the Super Bowl.
she has delivered a level and a standard that you used to, so it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's fair. It's like, wait a minute. Come on now.
Was there any song that you would have liked for him to perform that he didn't?
I feel like he performed every song,
bro.
He had so many hits. And this is what Joe Budden was talking about. He was mad that and I was like, well, he has so many hits. He had to do kind of like one-liners and two-liners because it was.
Dude, that superstar, he hit the note and then he was on to the next one. I said,
oh. He's on to the next one. I was like, good. Okay.
But
he's moving.
13 minutes is all they have, and he's no exception. Yeah. I think his performance, it's about, you got 13 minutes. That's it. You got to get your ass up off the field. Yeah. The actual game. Yeah. But no. And so there are certain artists like Usher who just have hit after hit. Like when I think of somebody like him, I think of somebody like a Justin Timberlake. Like he has so many damn hits. He could be out there for 30 minutes and I'm singing every single song. So Chris Brown, another one. Hits. Like, I mean, imagine if Drake were to perform. Give that nigga an hour because he needs it. That guy's Wayne too. Like, so it's insane. And speaking of, this is, and we can go back to the Sonic Boom because I did want to touch back on that.
Yeah, yes.
In 2005.
Okay, good year.
Super Bowl 38, right? Whew,
okay.
So much time has passed. Lord. Right? Yeah. No, it's
not. It's no. It's still. We're still good.
Yeah, it's no 2004. Sorry, because Anyways, I think it's 2004. So Super Bowl 38, whichever one that was in Houston. It was my junior or senior year. Time is a construct at this point. Anyways,
the Patriots and Eagles.
Yeah. So, but it was in Houston, and guess what? I had the opportunity, kind of like the Sonic Boom. Obviously, I wasn't in the band or anything. I was in this like women's group, for improvement. I don't know it's called LOE, Ladies of Elegance, right? And I was on the step team and everything. So our step master, she comes, she was like, hey ladies, we have the opportunity to be on the ground floor of the Super Bowl. Do you guys want to do it? I was like, hell yeah. So we went out to a field and we rehearsed like our interests. Like you kind of see like when Little John was performing, he was like, yeah. And there was just like a crowd of random people. That was us.
Yeah.
So we got access. We got to go out there and I was on the I can't even think. I was on the field.
You never told me this.
I'm telling you now. Shit. Like I can't tell you everything, bro. It's insane. I'm telling you at the proper moment. So I was on the field, and I don't know. I mean, a lot of people probably don't remember this, but it was one of those things that happened during that Super Bowl. Justin Timberlake, Janet Jackson.
Yep.
Happy naked by the end of this song, and then he ripped it. I saw Areola and Titty, bro, on the field, and people were asking me after. They were like, "Hey, did they rehearse this?" I said, "No, they never rehearsed that." So, it was like that big controversy, like, was this planned or was it an accident? Was it really a wardrobe malfunction? Remember, this is like back in 2004. YouTube's not really popping like that just yet, and it was like really hard to find the video to try to rewatch it to see what happened. And
YouTube wasn't. I don't think YouTube was created then.
I think it was. I don't know if it was like popping. I think it was created then. We just probably weren't on it like that. Don't quote me though. But I remember that like it was yesterday. I'm just like,
yeah, that one was live.
I was like, no, it was fun. It was very fun. Yeah, everybody zoomed in, and they had to censor it. And after that, there was a lag. They're like, because of this debacle, we have to lag. Crazy. We have to lag the air, like it being live. We can't do that because we have to make sure if anything like that happens, we can edit that shit out.
Because that was crazy. I was like, nah, they ain't do it.
Yeah,
they didn't go that hard.
They went that hard. And that shit was talked about.
I seen it.
You're funny.
Like, when you see something, you're like,
yeah,
nah, but I see. You seen that? I seen that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were talking about it all. That was crazy.
On the news, everything for weeks, bro. People would not let that shit go. People would not
Janet got a lot of flack for that.
She got a lot of flack. Like she was the one that pulled her own shit off. Like, what about my man Justin? He don't want to try to rip her nipple off. Like, we need to get on his ass. Off
and he got low.
Crazy.
He got low.
No. But back, okay, we're gonna keep it back. We're gonna take it back to PG. Back to the Jackson State Sonic Boom. This was the first ever. It's the first ever performance for Jackson State at a Super Bowl. This is not the first time an HBCU band has performed at a Super Bowl. This is the first time for Jackson State, and I believe it's amazing how it happened. So it pretty much boiled down to a simple conversation between executive producer of the halftime show, Jesse Collins, and his friend Cortez Bryant, which is an HBCU Jackson State alum, and he was also a former Sonic Boom member. So this is what I mean. These connections that you have can present opportunities for the generations to come. And I believe that just hearing that, listening to them, like, yo, this is beautiful. Like, that's the power of just having connections, because I'm not going to lie, PWIs, white people, they do it all the time. I don't even knock them for it. Hey, if you know this guy and you trust his work, because sometimes something of this magnitude, I can't be going with anybody. I need to have somebody that has good resume, good track record, and I know and trust them. Period. So I know this was an amazing opportunity for the band members. They were even talking about it. Like, this is something, I wasn't even performing. I was just in the field back in high school, and I still remember what that felt like. So imagine performing on probably the biggest stage for most of these kids in their life, because I don't know what they're going to do after. A lot of them can do amazing things.
That's a good talking point. Woo.
It's the biggest,
great story,
biggest stage, the most viewerships they'll probably ever receive, right? Over 200 million. And they put on a show. They put on a show. I'm talking about the gyrating and all you're all doing. I was like, see, that's how you represent. That's how you represent a freaking HBCU marching band.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, they got me fired up, man. I'm not gonna lie. I heard the horns and the drums, and I just got I just got so just fired up. I was so proud. Even my mom's like, "Oh my god, the band!" I was like, "Yo, this is amazing." I mean, it made no sense. Sorry, it was 100 million views, not 200 million. 200. Still the highest. Still the highest. They spent 10 days in Vegas preparing for it, and again, 300 band members. So that right there alone, the coordination, and man, it just shows like a level of just professionalism from the students. Being able to put on a show like that.
And also, we want to shout out to Dr. Roderick Little. He's also named the 2022 HBCU Band Director of the Year by Best American Craftsman Musical Instruments. Also, Jackson State Sonic Boom. They also have shared the stage with Drake, Lil Boosie, Sierra, Cedric the Entertainer, Lil Jon, Big Crit, Pastor Troy, In My City, anyway, John Baptiste, J. Cole, Lil Biden, Fly and Dear Solace,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually played at the Motown's 30th anniversary NBA All
Yes.
Star game
Yep.
and AACP Image Awards
So when
and
they say
inauguration and inauguration.
yeah, in inauguration, when they say they are booked and busy, they mean
Mhm.
it. They definitely mean it.
Also, I just this came up this year. This is the first ever. Don't worry, guys. Listen, we're going next year. But they also performed in the Legacy Bowl,
Mm-hmm.
the Legacy Classic, and that's a basketball game that I think Michael B. Jordan was there, Drake,
Yes, he
J.
was.
Cole.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was February 3rd. Don't worry. Next year we're gonna have to make a trip. We're gonna have to make a trip because
Oh yeah.
that sounds phenomenal. And it'll be kind of like February. Yeah.
So
Beginning of February.
imagine
Nice trip.
imagine these kids' resume and then the level of
Mhm.
confidence, like, hey, I performed here. So if I
Oof.
performed on this stage, like I can do anything. I can essentially do anything and
Yeah,
really pursue band after college.
yeah, because that's literally the biggest stage.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can out top that story.
Mm-mm.
Like I performed on a decent, a small stage, but it was a big thing. But like
No,
the story of the Super Bowl, like
that's it.
if I hopped at the Super Bowl, I wouldn't bring it up all the time, but I would casually bring it up. Like,
I
I've
performed
done
at the
that. Yeah, yeah,
performed
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Super
You know
Bowl.
what I'm
So
saying? Just something
no,
slight.
small things to a
Because the
giant. Nothing,
story,
nothing too
just
crazy.
because
Yeah.
the story has to be like from people are going to hear from the time you woke up, your thought process. Were you
Mm-hmm.
nervous? Did you eat
Yeah.
that day? The fly in, the performance, what goes into the preparation for it, the moments you feel right before you go out. That's
Right.
just phenomenal.
I mean, I'm telling my grandkids about it. Hey, back in my
Yes.
day, it's gonna be one of
Yeah.
those type of stories
And
where
Super
I'm
Bowl
gonna
party
keep.
still gonna be going
Yes,
on.
grandma, we know, you performed with Usher. Super, who is Usher? And they're gonna be like, who's Usher? They're gonna be one of
They go
them.
Google them.
You have to
They gonna
Google
be
them at that point.
like,
So no, it's insane. It's insane. The performance was amazing, and I'm just glad that these kids got that opportunity. And it would have to have been an HBCU band. I don't see any other band doing it like that. I don't see any other band being able to. This is no knock on PWIs, but like you have to have that soul. You have to have that extra oomph to really kind of put on a performance like that. But other marching bands include Peer Review, the Marching
yes.
Storm. So they performed Southern. They perform at a few Super Bowls. The Human
Yes.
Jukebox. So they've been there. They
Mm-hmm.
performed at three of them, twice in New Orleans. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of one of those things. Florida A&M, the Marching 100, they performed at a few. But I'm not gonna lie, Grambling takes the
It's
cake.
crazy. It's
They
crazy.
performed at 6
Yeah.
Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah.
So the world famed Tiger Marching Band, oh my God,
Yeah, they're
6.
beasts.
So
Gremlins is a
they're,
beast.
but it just adds that extra flair that you can't really get anywhere else. So I really enjoyed this Super Bowl halftime show for sure, for
It
sure.
was yes, I loved it.
Hmm.
And now speaking about after halftime, what did you think about the first overtime? Second overtime ever in Super Bowl history. The first overtime with the new rules. Because I ain't gonna
See,
lie, I had to Google them. I was like, wait. Let me.
but we need those rules though. We need.
I love it.
I'm in agreement because the old rules were so unfair. It was so
Mhm.
unfair. Like, wait, what? I don't get the
You,
a field
you know
goal
what? You know why I got changed.
with Tom Brady.
Patrick Mahomes
Oh,
scored
Patrick.
in
Okay.
13 seconds.
Oh, okay. I was about to say because usually when things
Scored in
change, it's because
13
that guy.
seconds, and they changed it. They said we got to change the rule.
Because it's not fair. It's not fair. But I think the overtime made up for the quote unquote lackluster.
Yeah,
Just game. It made up for the lackluster game that a lot of people
yeah.
felt. It was kind of like a back and forth. It wasn't a lot. It was good defense, but there wasn't a
I
lot of
loved it.
offense, and not a lot of people love that. A lot of people were saying, man, it was boring up until OT. So I think it kind of one of those nail biters, man. It's one of those things like, whoa, what's going on? So I think I don't know. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it,
I
and
definitely enjoyed it.
as soon as the Chiefs got the ball, I knew it was over.
Yeah.
Because
Oh
Patrick
yeah.
Mahomes, but also, not we love Patrick Mahomes, but this is called HBCU Homecoming Podcast. This are a fact. Some HBCU coaches, people in the front office, and players actually played on both the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, for instance, some of the players are Terry Bradden, Howard Tuskegee. He's on the Chiefs staff. Brian Cook. He is actually the Chiefs safety.
He didn't play though.
He didn't play.
He was
He's a
injured,
safety.
but
Yes.
he helped the game before, like the AFC Championship game. I believe he did what he could, but yeah, he didn't play for the Super Bowl, but definitely an instrumental part for that team. It's no small players, guys.
No.
Every play, every tackle. Mm-hmm.
Yes, it matters, especially on a championship winning team.
So
Ted
Brian,
Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
I was going to say Brian Cook. Yeah, Brian Cook, his story is very interesting to me because obviously he went to Howard University. So he played college football at Howard. He literally did not receive any other scholarship offer from any other school but Howard University. And when I say he became a Bison and he balled out. And then he said the coaches looked at him like after 2 seasons, they're like, bro, why are you here? He said, what do you mean? He's like, why are you playing here?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he ended up entering the transfer portal. And then that's where he went and finished his collegiate career at the University of Cincinnati. Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, an amazing story that even though he didn't finish with Howard, the fact that Howard gave him that opportunity and he was able to pursue football as a professional, signed a 4-year rookie contract with Kansas City Chiefs for about $5.8 million with $3.1 million guaranteed. And I mean, he did what he could. Like, he did what he could. He wasn't able to play, but again, he had a pretty good season. Now 2 rings. Like the fortune of him and Joshua Williams is insane, bro. Because they both got drafted, I believe, in 2022, and they both now have 2 rings. A lot of dudes, they'll ball out, play, and they don't even get a ring.
Mm-hmm. It's that's what Shady McCoy says all the time. He says, y'all think it's easy. It's hard to win.
It's hard as shit. It can come down to one play.
It's hard.
It's so harder than a bitch, especially football.
Yes, because
when you can only play offense or defense, and you can only play one side.
Yes.
So much is out of your control. Like,
It matters.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, we had Ted Cruz. He went to SC State. He's in the Chiefs front office. Corey Rush went to Texas Southern. He's in the 49ers front office. And Steve Wilkes, who just lost his job, he's a defense coordinator. He did not go, but he coached at Johnson C. Smith, it's in North Carolina, and Savannah State. So he coached there. And unfortunately, he became the scapegoat, which is ridiculous. That's another topic. But actually, 2 players that are actually active and playing in the game that are really good. You have Javon Hargrave, who I not know pretty well, but he definitely played on the Eagles. He's a D tackle. And then you have Fayetteville State's Joshua Williams, who plays for the Chiefs. And both players actually got drafted from their HBCU.
Yep. So out of the 3 players total, right? 2 actually played because Brian Cook, he was injured, so he wasn't able to play. But out of those 2 guys, both of them got drafted from an HBCU. I will say Cook and Williams, they're a little bit younger, right? But
Yeah.
Hargrave, he's seasoned. He's
Been in the league
seasoned,
a minute.
and he's been in the league in a minute, and you can kind of tell, like, from his stats that he has a more pivotal role. So he literally just signed in 2023. He signed a 4-year, $84 million contract with the 49ers, right? Second time Pro Bowl. Like, this guy, he has the goods. He has the goods. He was balling out in college, balling out. He literally finished his career with over 200 tackles. 8 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, and he tied the FCS record for most sacks in a game with 6 against Bethune-Cookman. So he was an absolute stud at South Carolina State University. So it was almost inevitable for him to get drafted. He got drafted by the Steelers, kind of had like a lackluster start to his NFL career. But no, it's okay. But then once he got to the Eagles, he signed a 3-year, $39 million contract. He started. That's where his career, bro. And you know, because y'all are the same, like, bro.
He's killer. I was like,
he's a beast. And that's how you know somebody's good, because you keep seeing their fucking name on the back of the jersey. Like, come on, bro. Like, god damn. Man. Like, what? But even in the Super Bowl, he had 6 total tackles, 3 solo, 3 assisted tackles, and 1 sack. So I mean, he still lost. So it kind of sucks that he played for the Eagles. They make it to the Super Bowl. They lose. He goes to the 49ers, he makes it to the Super Bowl, loses again. Bro. Like, god damn. Like, at this point, Patrick Mahomes is going to have to see me with the hands, bro. Like, what?
He's going to
have to see me with the hands. But it's still amazing. What an opportunity to be able to play back-to-back Super Bowls. We already talked. It is insanely tough. What the Kansas City Chiefs are doing right now is unheard of. They are anomalies. It is so incredibly tough to make it to the Super Bowl back-to-back, and to do it on 2 different teams. That's difficult in and of itself. That's almost like
very
I'm
difficult
at Vegas, because the odds are not in your favor with that. And then for you to lose twice is insane.
Yeah. And you know what? Sometimes, and I see this a lot with not even NFL or NBA players, because Gilbert Arenas touched on this. And he was just like, the reason why people flame out, and I'm probably assuming it's the NFL is very similar, is that in college you have class, workout, diet plan.
Yeah.
You're required to stay in shape.
Very structured.
In NFL, NBA, he was like, NBA, they practice from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and your day's done. I was like, what? So I think the NFL is the same thing. So just like anything, guys, it's called a professional for a reason.
Yeah.
And it takes time in anything. Even if you graduate college and work in the government, it's a transition. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to become a professional. Nobody's going to wake you up. You got to do it. And then if you excel at the highest level, like Hargrave is doing, he's definitely learned how to stay in shape, how to eat right, when to go to the cold tub, when to show up. That's, you know what I'm saying? There's certain things that Hall of Famers do that regular players don't do, right? Like the Hall of Famers and the guys that are playing at a high level, they're in there early. They're in there early getting treatment, getting to ice baths. They're not hanging out. They're going home to work. They're professionals. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Hargrave for that, man, because he deserves all his money.
He's a big dude. 6'2", over 300 pounds. Big dude.
Yeah,
you know, somebody could take notes from him from the NBA. I'm not going to say anybody's names, but you got to put down the beignets, you know, and really treat yourself like a professional. Get the weight off. I mean, there's no reason. That's bro. Busting out your shoes and shit, but it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. This is the hardest thing. It's one thing to be like to stay hungry once you've been fed so well and you have millions of dollars in the bank. Like, everybody can easily say, man, I get to the level, I'm da-da-da-da-da. No, you're not. When you get your refund check, you out. Like, you're out. During the pandemic, you was getting all this stimulus money. He is eating lobster and shit like you was living your best life. Calm down. So these guys have unlimited
Calm
resources.
down. Calm
So it takes
down.
a different type of mindset to be like, I mean, I could go out and go trick off this money, go buy some car, go take some girl out, go eat something, just buy shit randomly that I don't fucking need, throw a birthday party with giraffes and kangaroos and shit because I can. But to have that like self-love is really about sacrifice. Like I love myself and I love this sport and I have goals in this sport that I want to accomplish, that I'm going to sacrifice all of these things. And when you see somebody playing at a high level, you have to realize that's what they had to do, because once you get to the NFL, everybody fucking thinks they're good. You made it to the NFL, everybody's good. Same thing with the NBA.
Everybody.
So now what's going to separate you? Like you said, you got to come to the gym early. Like you see it from the savants, like the Kobe Bryants, like the people, LeBron James, the people who they're just like, man, this guy's great. All the players, all their teammates will say one thing: this guy's work ethic is crazy. He's in here before everybody. He leaves after everybody. And you can literally go out, take a cruise, go out, do whatever you want. But this is what you're choosing to do. So kudos to Hargrave. Kudos to him, for real. Even though he didn't win, like it speaks volumes, man.
Yes.
For sure.
To go to a Super Bowl back to back. That's a lot of people can't say that, man. And playing at a very high level.
Yeah.
You know, and it's hard, man. Hard.
It's very tough. And I will say too, because you know, we always, you know, we highlight the players, very important. But I think what also needs to be highlighted, like we touched on it briefly, are the guys behind the scenes. You know, like the Brandon Jr. Or Braden Jr. I'm sorry if I'm saying his name incorrectly. The defensive line, like assistant line coach, you know, he had, you know, he played his part. Like his stats are so crazy. So I was looking him up. I was like, man, who is this guy? Who is this guy, Terry Bradden? And he actually played 3 seasons at Howard University. I mean, what can I say, bro? Like we're in here. We're in here. But after his collegiate football career, he spent time, like a season, with the Florida Atlantic University. And even before that, he went back to his high school alma mater, where he was named the youngest head coach for football at the age of 24. So what that tells me is, like, man, this guy's special in what he's doing. Maybe not as a player, but as a coach. I mean, if you look at the players he was able to work with, the tutelage he was able to receive under other people's coaching tree. I mean, he made Football Coaches Association top 30 under 30 class. He has such a resume. So now you're like, okay, this is his 3rd season as the assistant defensive line coach with the Chiefs. You know, he definitely played a role. He definitely played a role in their victory. So it's like, definitely highlight him. And even the 2 VP of communications, both of the VP of communications from the Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers, HBCU products of HBCUs. Like you touched on it. Corry Rush, Texas Southern University. Ted Cruz, South Carolina State University. And these
not that Ted Cruz, guys.
Yeah, not that one. And these men have really, like, solidified themselves in the NFL. They have been in the NFL for decades. So, like, they put in so much work to get to the position that they're in. Dude, Ted Cruz has been with the Kansas City Chiefs since 2012. So, like, over 12 seasons. Like, he's been there. Just climbing the ladder, you get what I'm saying? Like, making sure he puts himself in that. It's amazing. It's amazing. But to have both of the VP of communications on both teams be products of HBCU, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, that has to be highlighted. That has to be talked about. You know, it doesn't, like, it leaves like a good feeling, like, hey man, we're out here. Like, we're coming. We're making moves. We're coming. There you go.
We're coming, guys. And the words of Dion, we're coming. All right,
Dion, like his little freestyle.
And listen, man, HBCUs is getting a lot of love and credit, and we're doing stuff behind the scenes. We're doing stuff in front of the scenes. We're doing stuff in the game and on the field. We're doing stuff on the sidelines. We're doing stuff in the box, and we're doing stuff at halftime.
But that's the representation. Like we have the totality,
Love.
right? We're always focused on like, man, these players making it to the NFL, da da da. That's great. But when it comes to that conversation of
Mhm.
lack of diversity, we need guys like the Ted Cruzes,
Yeah,
in that front office position to make sure that there aren't these disparities in like hires and things like that,
yeah,
because we could talk about all we want to. We've talked till our face turns blue about, man, like when are these black coaches going to get a chance? Y'all make this rule where they got to interview them. Okay, so they have to interview them, they don't have to hire them. So
yeah.
until you get guys above the people who are in the position
Hmm.
of actually doing the hiring, will these things actually change? So I
Yeah,
say, not to say one's more important, but that is
mhm.
very important to
Yeah,
have black men or women are just
yeah,
products of HBCUs
yes,
being in these front office positions to give
yes.
other people the shot and just give these people the job because they're best suited, not because of, oh yeah, I was tight with this dude. And like, no, work enough of that stuff.
And also
Mm-hmm.
to piggyback off what you said, Terry Braden is so I heard this from Peter King about the disparities about coaches.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he said was the position coaches sometimes becomes friends with the coordinators, and that's how they get jobs. So the
Mm-hmm.
more black coaches we have that are in those defensive line positions, and those coaches, those position coaches, then that could be the pipeline to be a D coordinator, because that's what because it's all about the relationships, to be honest. And if like Dan Quinn just did that, the Commanders hired Dan Quinn. He brought
Mm-hmm.
over
Yep.
black head coaches. His OC. He brought over a couple. You know what I'm saying? So that's he got Anthony Lynn over there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I think with the front office and the coaches, it's good because the players gonna always be there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
players. You know what I'm saying? We just built like that, guys.
But they're gonna hire. But with players is like, because they
Yeah,
want to win, right? That's something
yeah,
that's going to be hard to kind of negate. You might not.
hmm,
They might not have the same visibility coming from an HBCU. I mean, they have the
yeah,
HBCU combine and things like that. But that's something like, man, this guy's talented. We need him. It's like he's like a piece to
yeah.
the puzzle of us winning Super Bowl. But
You
with
got to
coaching,
do is
that gets a little bit stickier.
yeah. You only coach I've seen go to I think Belichick. He drafted what's his name? A safety from HBCU. He actually went
Mm.
down there, I think.
Oh wow, got Bill Belichick out there. This cut off sweatshirts,
Yeah. Let
cut
me
off
see.
hoodies. But yeah, so it's definitely, this Super Bowl definitely meant a lot to me in that regards, as far as
Mhm.
the different elements and influence of people that go to and went to an HBCU. So that's something we
Yeah,
can all be proud of. Definitely historical event for sure in many
yeah.
ways.
And I loved it. And next year might be the Chiefs again. So I don't know. I don't know who's gonna be in it next year, but I think it's gonna be
I mean,
phenomenal.
why wouldn't it be them? Like, it would
I don't
be. Yeah, I'm not saying like it's
know.
a certainty, but if
I
you're
don't
asking
know.
me now, are
I
they going to
wouldn't be
start them next year?
surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, it's I think it's the way and the love that HBCUs are getting right now. I think it's unfathomable, and like I can't wait for the future because it's just getting more and more shine, and I love it. I love
Okay.
it. I mean, it's listen, going to a HBCU, and you feel this. We have our rivalries or whatever, but it's love. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Mm-hmm.
if I see somebody that went to a HBCU, it's a different connection. So
oh yeah, no, that's like
it's a different
well, I'll
connection.
argue with my siblings, but you're not gonna argue with them like outside the house. Like I'm gonna rock your ass. Like we fight. But no, I get what you're saying, right? So I know for you as a Q, it's like you see the Kappas out there doing that shit. It's like, oh man, that's what's up. I know, Jackson, to any type of band rivalry at the end of the day, you're just happy to see an HBCU band. Like if it was Hampton Institute University, if it was Hampton University out there playing the marching band, I would be happy. I would question like why they chose them, but I would ultimately be very happy that an HBCU band was out there playing truly.
Yeah, that's what
bro. I do not. I'm like, I
it was so hard
Hampton.
for you to say it. You were so hard.
Well, honestly, let me tell you something, JT. Before I told you I didn't know anything about HBCUs to PWIs. Before I went to Howard, I didn't know Hampton existed. But as soon as I got there, they said Hampton, and I was like, "Oh, is that what we're doing? All right, so fuck Hampton." Then like that, it was just baked in. After that, they conditioned us and assimilated us to now instinctually I have to fight it. And that's what we call a baked-in rivalry, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a baked-in rivalry.
That's a good, wholesome school baked-in rivalry that it is what it is. And if you talk to somebody from Hampton, they feel the same way about Howard.
Yes,
they're wrong, but they feel the same way, and that's okay. I accept that. It is what it is.
Oh man. On that note, guys, we are out. We're gonna catch y'all. We are here every Monday. And once again, we're always gonna highlight the students, the people, the community, the business, everything, the fraternities, the band, the sororities, student government, everything. Because that's what we do with HBCUs. And once again, you can catch us on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google, and Alexa. That's called TuneIn. So
Alexa.
It's called TuneIn. Alexa. Alexa, Amazon. They have a drink called TuneIn. Anyway. Yeah, we're on all of them. Everywhere you can get your podcast.
It's too much. Sorry, no. No, sir. All right. Till the next episode of Homecoming.
Till the next episode, guys. All
Bye.
Right. Peace.